Today I want to dive into the purpose-driven life. And I want to talk about how hard it is to find your purpose. And there might not be a purpose that we can put into words or that we can point to with utmost certainty. So, if you're one of these people that feels guilty because you can't find your purpose, first of all, realize it ain't easy. And it might not be that black and white. I hope you'll stick around as I explore the wonderful and elusive world of purpose. What's my purpose? Is about as impossible to answer as who am I? But it's a valuable question. And I always like to start every sort of existential question from the standpoint of excuse me, I am the universe. And the reason why I say I'm the universe is because I can't see anything in the universe that doesn't come from the universe. Which makes it essentially the same as the universe. And your typical person has a vague sense that they come from another planet. We have this vague sense of alienation. Something's wrong. Something's problematic. I've got to find a purpose. I've got to do something. I've got to help the universe. And so self-help is born. The purpose-driven life is born. So let's go to the source. Why is the universe here? What's the purpose of the universe? Crickets. And everything is like that. Why anything exists at all won't explain why anything exists. Oh. You can try to chase it, but it's going to put you in a bunny hole. It's going to put you in a pair of handcuffs that your logic will twist you up and spit you out. And we smugly say that that giraffes have long necks because the vegetation they seek is way up there. Oh, that seems to make sense to me. That's the purpose of a long neck. And I say, wait a minute. Why is the vegetation way up there? And why do they like it? And why is there a creature that wants to eat that? And you begin to chase it and chase it and chase it, and it doesn't go anywhere. And the very fact that a giraffe exists is puzzling. In the same way that the universe exists is puzzling. And in the same way that I exist is puzzling. It's beguiling. It's weird. And yet we have an explanation for it. For about 30 years, my purpose was to be a musician. Well, that makes sense. Play music, teach music, conduct music. And then the question after that is, why is there music? Oh, you know. So the purpose of the music is music. The purpose of existence is existence. The purpose of a giraffe is to be a giraffe. Is the giraffe's long neck problematic? Do we need to fix it? Make the giraffe's neck shorter? And then you start getting into futzing around with purpose. One could easily say that the purpose of an oncologist is to cure cancer. Well, why is there cancer? The purpose of a hematologist is to cure leukemia. Well, why is there leukemia? The purpose of good is to overcome evil. Well, why is there evil? And we got people who think they can eradicate yin and live in a yang life and have no yin. And the purpose-driven life is driven by an illusion called need. There's a need for it. Well, you're fooling yourself because you created the need too. So everything in its own domain is completely unexplainable. Why? I mean, if you explore it, it's why not? And there's your yin and your yang. Why and why not? Is that to say that life doesn't have any meaning? No, it's very meaningful. And does life have no purpose? No. Life is on purpose. The purpose of your life is to be on purpose. And you know the difference between being on purpose and being on accident or being absent. But either way, if you're on purpose or accidental, you're still yourself. And perhaps maybe the purpose of life is to cease differences, to see through differences, to bring differences together in a quiet way without tooting your own horn that you figured it out, or without accentuating other people's alienated consciousness. I'm still no less beguiled, even though I figured out that differences are alike. Or as the Buddha said, in the sky there are no directions. Or as Freud said, the oceanic consciousness, just this one blob of awareness, which knows not itself as separateness, but can be recognized. And that this reality that I find myself in is me. And this universe that I find myself in is me. And how do I know I'm in the universe? Or in the world and not of it? Because part of me is in it, and part of me is not of it. Part of me is in time, and part of me is not in time. But it's all of me. And the yin and the yang are completely balanced in a karmic ledger that equals 0. But it's very meaningful. So, your purpose is self-professed in an outward way. If it's your purpose to be a free spirit, then be a free spirit. You kind of just know internally what your so-called external purpose is. Your internal purpose is to live on purpose. Your external purpose will manifest as some great difference that accentuates you as an individual, and that's fine. Even in your zeal to bring everybody together, you will be exalted as a difference maker. I think the real unification begins in people who keep their yappers shut. I think the wisest people in the world aren't speaking. They don't say anything. So I guess I'm an idiot. Getting on YouTube, making videos all the time. I love speaking. That's my outward purpose. My outward purpose is to show you how purposeless, yet meaningful, it is to exist. So, why do you exist? Beats me. Why is the moon up there? Well, outwardly, it's to control the tides and to do all these things. But inwardly, it's just as weird as why giraffes exist, why the wind blows, why is there wind, why is there anything? In its own domain, it is to be that. And in your own domain, it is to be you. And the purpose of your life is to be a purposeful version of yourself. Not a coincidental version, a copycat, a fraud. Or someone who feels completely foreign or alienated. That you belong. That you are not outcast. When you say outcast, banished, thrown out of the kingdom. That's an image of yourself being extracted from a background. And assimilation is retreating back into the background, into the source that you've always been. Always will be. And that which you cannot separate yourself from. The field out of which you grew and into which you grow are one and the same. Listen to that language. The field out of which you grow and into which you grow are one and the same. In the same way a tree grows into its environment, it's always been the environment. You can't have a tree without an environment. It wouldn't exist. And when you realize that your environment is you, the distrust of what's outside of yourself goes away. So what is there a purpose? What is your purpose if not creating some kind of difference between foreground and background? It's just in that unity, you realize you still have a purpose to do things, to have things, to express things. Why? Because you dig it. Why do I talk? I dig it. So my purpose is to dig it, to love it, to enjoy it. Maybe your purpose is to suffer. Maybe your purpose is to be confused. But I really question that from a design perspective. If you were intended to be on purpose, if you were meant to be, in other words, Why would you mean to harm yourself? Betray yourself? Deny yourself? Or feel like this isn't your home? The one thing that doesn't make any sense to me is that my so-called purpose is to be a failure, a loser, a meaningless entity. Is that your destiny, do you think? To be a sufferer? Somebody caught in limbo who doesn't really understand anything? If you so want it to be. So your purpose, in an outward way, is merely self-professed. It's a word. Declare it so. And it is. So your purpose can be what you say it is. It's declared. But it doesn't really make it what it is. What it is what it is. Fundamentally. My name is Ryan. I hope that these insights shifted something in your own understanding of purpose. That it might not be a shift externally. It could be a probe internally. And there you'll find the sense of belonging was always there. Please check out my blog. It's called mymorningmotivator.com.